Well, first of all, tell us about the whole experience, man. Congratulations of stepping off the airplane and in Utah and going to the World Championships.
Yeah, I mean, amazing experience. Awesome to finally get to experience one. It felt like it was a long time coming, and everything was great. City was beautiful. Hotel was awesome. Arena was great. Crowds were probably exceeded my expectations for what they were going to be. Hospitality was awesome. Entire event was great. And I mean, it's a boatload of curling. The schedule's the one knock on it that I would have, but I got no complaints. I mean, it was an awesome event, awesome tournament, beautiful. I've never been to Utah, Salt Lake City, the whole area before. So it was all beautiful, and we really enjoyed it too. I mean, it was an awesome way for this version of Team Dunstone to close things out.
Yeah. What was the decompression like from it? Like the nerves and the anxiety and like.
I can't wait to hear the answer to this one.
Yeah. When the answer is
it was
how long the party go?
It was a full shutdown. My goodness. We obviously we celebrated our silver medal that night too. Once everything was wrapped. That was a great part about having I don't know what time we played, 1, 2, or 3 p.m. Then we had the whole evening off. Family came to the hotel. Celebrated with them a little bit. They went to bed, and then the rest of the team took care of the after party. And then after that, it's wake up, hop on a plane, and everyone gets home and just shuts it all down. I was saying to Kevin a little bit earlier, like since I got home, like I haven't really thought about curling at any capacity from the World Championship. I think we played 15 games in 7 or 8 days, whatever it was, and I mean, you don't even really have time to think. It was just wake up, curl, grab a bite to eat, have a nap, get out and curl again, and rinse, repeat. Was what it was, and that's truthfully what it was. So, it was an amazing event. Super happy to have experienced first one, and also happy that it leads us right into summertime, and now you get to get ready for the next squad.
Before we bring Kevin to get all the curling stuff, give me an idea of the split out of 100. So when you finish the game, you win the silver. That's way better than saying you lost the gold. I think you say you win the silver. What's the split percentage wise of 30% tough to lose, 70% we feel great, or was it 50-50, or like?
Yeah, I mean,
freak, we lost, or cripes, we won the silver.
Yeah, I think within a couple hours, probably the first night of losing that game, it feels 99-1, where it sucks that you lost. As the days go, I mean, looking at it now, silver medal at the World Championship, super proud of that. So it's amazing how it changes over time, and truthfully, Nick's team in that final was incredible. I mean, I don't think many teams were beating them that day. We sure weren't, and obviously didn't. And I mean, they deserved that wholeheartedly. They were the better team that day. Showed that, and looking at it now, I mean, awesome. Super proud of what we were able to accomplish at the Worlds.
Well, I think we should probably start with. I reached out to you this morning, and you're a little surprised, but you're hitting the golf course this morning. What court? Because that was around Kamloops, I presume. Where'd you play?
I played at Rivershore Golf Links. Kevin Oates is the GM there. I got a good relationship with him. I actually played around with him earlier today, obviously, and they're great to me. Weather's beautiful here. I think I'm on 13 rounds so far, so we're off to a good start in 2026 here.
What'd you shoot today?
I was an 82 today. Went 40 on the front, 40 on the front, nice. 42 on the back.
Tidy golf.
The putter worked on the front 9, and then those 8 to 10 footers kind of lost it. I was lagging a lot of 8 to 10 footers, let's say, on the back 9.
Slow draw.
Yeah,
drawing the top 4.
I was lag putting from 8 to 10 feet with the best of them on the back 9.
Attaboy.
Obviously, the one thing we want to talk about, other than golf, of course, we haven't got a chance yet. I still got snow in my backyard, so we're not on the course yet around Edmonton. your new team. Your new team. I told you last time we talked. Might have been on the show. Might not have been on the show. You and I talk a lot anyway. I told you you can't let EJ retire because he's too good, but you did.
Well, he's way bigger than me, so I'm going to lose that fight 10 out of 10 times. So that wasn't wasn't a tree I was willing to bark up because he's twice the size of me. But yeah, I mean, would it have been great for him to stay? I mean, he's still got it. I mean, that's very obvious. Like he's still the best sweeper in the game, one of the best seconds in the world. Like I mean, he's going out on top for sure. I mean, he has not lost a beat, lost an ounce, of curling ability. That is for certain. But, his reasons for going out are obviously his reasons. And truthfully, I mean, I don't think it's on any of us to try and change his mind or bring him back. I mean, I think.
Yeah, no, I said it a bit in jest, obviously.
Yeah.
Because EJ is one of the best to ever play, which is great. And he finished off with a Canadian championship, finished off playing terrific at the Worlds, all good. And now you're bringing in a guy from the Rock.
That's right.
That was interesting. Not a big surprise. I talked to Mark at the Saville, and he said to me, I don't know what to do because it's a lot of travel if I join a team. And I think he was telling me the truth that he just. So what transpired to get Mark Nichols on a team across the country? Because that's a big move for him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean,
go with talent.
It's a lot of talent, right? I mean, for us, the big thing going into that decision was we knew we weren't replacing any sweeping because EJ is the best, right? So for us, it's who's the best player on the market. That was Mark Nichols, and it was just a matter of is he following with Brad and retiring, or does he want to continue? And we had a conversation between the Brier and the Worlds, to kind of get the ball rolling on that. And he took a couple days to, discuss with family, and he's got 2 young boys. So there was some discussions there, whether or not to keep on going. And then I heard from him 2-3 days later, said he was in, said, let's rock. And we were super excited because, like I said, he was the most talented player on the market. And, I think, this team is
one of the most talented players in the world.
Well, exactly. Yes. Well, exactly. I mean, the resume speaks for itself, right? 6 Briers, Olympic gold, Olympic bronze. I mean, you go down the laundry list. He's one of the best to ever do it, right? And we're super excited for that opportunity. It's funny how it's kind of come full circle. Like back when Mark played with Jeff, the trials in 2013, Mark was actually my personal trainer. I was in juniors at the time. And Mark was my personal trainer at Focus Fitness. Well, I had 4 years left of my junior career, and he was my personal trainer when he was in Winnipeg there. So, got to know him fairly well from that. Obviously, the last handful of years competing against him, and him moving back to the Rock hadn't kept in as much touch as we were when I was working with him. But awesome how that's come full circle, and feel pretty fortunate to have landed one of the best to ever do it, to take over EJ's spot.
So you're going to be able to have, is Ryan going to be able to jump side to side? Or you're going to have Mark, or do you even know that yet? Well, who's going to throw third? I guess that's probably you've got Ryan, of course, a mountain in the front. Great.
Yeah.
But you've got 2 kick-ass thirds.
Yes.
But you can't both throw third unless you're throwing second.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of versatility in this lineup, right? So, I mean, we have options. We'll put it that way. I know Mark won Canada Cup as a skip, did he not, in 2017 or 16?
Oh yeah, there's no weaknesses, but
yeah,
it's just an interesting decision. Colton has become extremely well respected at third. Doesn't have the trophy case that Mark. Well, nobody has that trophy case hardly, but Colton's coming up in the game, and Mark's getting older. So what's going on? What's in your mind, or what's in their mind as a team? Like, what do you do? What are you going to do?
Yeah, well, we're keeping it pretty simple. Mark's going to play second, and Colton's going to play third, and nothing's going to change in the house. Colton's going to be in the house. You guys will like this soundbite. I made a little joke with Mark before, just saying that me and Colton are a value village version of him and Brad. as because our trophy case is a little bit smaller than theirs right now, and me and Colton have that type of relationship, right? And we didn't, this group is a fairly well-oiled machine. We've proven that the last couple of years. So the less movement there is, the better. And honestly, you look at the landscape of the second and third position, not a whole lot of differences, and Mark's one of the best thirds, and I have no doubt in my mind he's going to be one of the best seconds without question.
So walk me through that. So you make the decision going, okay, let's find out what's happened with Mark Nichols. Great. You find out. Now you got to phone him. Are you saying to yourself, do you have a conversation with Colton first saying, okay, I want to ask this guy, what if he says, yeah, but I'm playing third? Do we ask him off the top, we want you to come to our team, but you're only playing second? How did it break all that down for me? How did the conversation go?
Yeah, I mean, the three of us, like EJ announced he was going to retire in December, right? So, I mean, the three of us had a lot of time to discuss, direction. We were thinking, if three of us were going to continue, what was it going to look like, yada, yada. This was same thing. Three of us had a discussion, said, who's our guy? We said, Mark. What are we going to talk to him or say? We're going to say the second spot's yours. And then three of us were all aligned in that. I wrote down a few talking points I wanted to touch on with Mark and, our initial phone call. And, he was awesome. You could tell there was a good vibe with it. It was about a 15-20 minute phone call, the first one. There was good vibes right away. I left the phone call. I had a really good feeling about it. He had obviously some things to discuss, but it really was just that simple. And then a couple of days later, he gives me a shout and he says, let's do this. Let's go win. And
he's got to sweep 2 more rocks.
Well,
right?
Not different.
Am I doing the math right? Am I doing the math right there? If he plays second, doesn't he?
You were, yes.
You.
He has been sweeping those rocks for Brad though the last 12 to 16 months. So I mean, it's a little bit different role for Mark, but not necessarily all that different than what he has done the last 12 to 20 months, whatever it's been. Sweeping skip stones, anyways.
Right.
And he's a super strong guy too. My goodness, like.
He's a personal trainer.
Yeah, exactly. He's built. He's strong.
He doesn't look that strong. Does he? Is he built like when you see him with his shirt off? Is he ripped? He doesn't look that big.
I'll send him over to you, Jimmy, and then you can let me know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, Mark works out really hard. He has forever, I think.
Yeah.
I don't really remember a time when, but he does a lot of that with Brad, right? They're in the Orange Theory together.
Oh,
I'm not sure how many outlets they have, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, but quite a few. So and Mark, I think he helps train the trainers now. I think
Jesus.
It's kind of.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, he's fit.
I take all that back. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I still might send him over to you though, Jimmy.
Yeah. Okay.
You just play the piano, Jimmy, and you'd have him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all I can push. That's my dead weight is a piano key. Yeah. What's the travel gonna? So you talked about that earlier. He's got the couple of kids. Does he come to Alberta for 6 months? Does he come for 3? Does he come for 2? Does he just meet you guys in Toronto and go from there? How's it all going to work?
Yeah, we again shut her down for a month here. I haven't really thought too much about curling. What is exciting is me and Erin. So my partner Erin, she's playing with Selena Negevin now, who's based out of Winnipeg. We're actually making our way over to Winnipeg at some point in August. We're going to make that our residence during the curling season. So moving back to Winnipeg for the winter months, and then come back out to BC so I can golf in April once the season's over again. But we're going to be in Winnipeg full time from August through to whenever the season's up, pretty much. And because it makes too much sense with Colton being there. That's where I was from. My family's all there, and then Erin's got a team there now. So great curling atmosphere, a lot of good coaching, a lot of good facilities. So we're really excited about that. So obviously our home base is going to be in Winnipeg now, which cuts off a lot of the travel because St. John's to Kamloops, BC is awfully far. But we've cut that travel in half now. So Winnipeg's going to be our home base. The going to have Ryan and Sue still, and Mark and St. John's. And, that makes a lot of sense given, the lifestyles, the kids, everything they're set up there. And we'll make Winnipeg our home base. I think it's going to be a really good spot.
It's not far from the Sioux to Winnipeg, like as the crow flies. Yeah. Is there an airline? There used to be Bearskin Airlines years ago. Is there a flight? Is there anybody that does it that Ryan can get there? Because it would be a very short flight if you can get straight to Winnipeg. Does it exist?
Yeah, I don't know. If it were to exist, it would be Bearskin. But I wouldn't be the first one lining up to buy a Bearskin ticket. I'll tell you that. And I
not sponsored.
I hope you're sponsored by Air Canada or WestJet here, but I wouldn't want Ryan to buy one of those tickets either. Yeah, I mean he'd have to do the milk run through Toronto, but I honestly I think you could probably do Bearskin, a bunch of milk runs through like Thunder Bay, Fort Francis, Sioux Falls, maybe. I don't know. I think there's a bunch of milk runs you could do to eventually find your way to Winnipeg. But I think Ryan's going to stick with Air Canada to Toronto.
Sled dog. Okay. Yeah. Team of sled dogs and off to some snowshoes. Yeah.
Okay. So one thing I really want to talk about, Carrick came over the other night. Him and Brittany and Kaylor came over. And he was just talking about the young teams, Matt, the ones, the up and comers that aren't quite in the slams or maybe in one or something. The season kind of ends before the end of November for them until after Christmas, but then January, February is blocked with Rock League, of course. And then, so really a young team coming up that has good promise will play till the 15th, 20th of November, then probably not again till provincials or the playdowns. That's quite your thoughts on the schedule next season?
It's too long of a stretch without question, because the provincial playdowns are going to be, the most important event that those teams will be playing in for sure. And to have 6, 7, 8 weeks off going into them, not how anybody would probably want to prepare for them. The slam schedule is definitely condensed. I mean, we got 5 slams in a matter of 10, 11 weeks now. I don't know the exact, I know it's around that. It's about something like, sure. So it's that part of it's very condensed, which, in turn has made it difficult for tour events to, find spots that works, because I mean, the tour events, kind of run a fine line where, they want some of the top teams involved for the event, but they also want to keep it relatively open for, those younger teams to be involved and play. And it's tough when you're up against different events all the time and there's no room for you on the calendar. And truth be told, like a lot of teams aren't going and playing 2, 3, 4 weekends in a row. Like that's not a thing. And when you go down the calendar, I mean, there's all these events condensed before we even have snow on the ground. And, there's no space for anywhere else. So it's, I'd like it to be a little more spread out. Obviously, the Rock League's involved and taking, another 6 weeks there, in and around. So the schedule is just getting really condensed. There's not a whole lot of room for stuff, and to try and make it all fit, it looks quite difficult to me. And, so we'll get a vibe for it in this first year, see how it all looks, see how it works. I would venture to guess that move after this season, we're going to say would love for stuff to be spread out a little bit more. And I can't imagine many World Curling Tour event organizers are going to disagree with that.
What, so let's talk specifics then. In a perfect world, Matt, because you are a barometer now, what would be a perfect schedule for a curling team January to December? Like, would you want to curl all year round, every second week, right through the summer? Is it like a football season from, 4 months or whatever it is? Or
yeah, I mean, truthfully, I'm happy to be golfing right now. So I do like when the season ends.
Right.
I like what we've done where, the Brier, the Worlds are kind of the last events. Where it's like you win, you continue to play, and you go on, and as soon as you lose, your season's done. I don't mind where the players sat I think one slam a month is probably, what a lot of would would like, just to spread them out a little bit more, just because they're 5, 6, 7 day long events. Yeah, I mean, perfect schedule. I think, especially if you're a pre-qualified team, like I think you're trying to find an event or two between January, February. Then you have your Brier in March, your Worlds to follow suit, hopefully. If not, then you're done in March. Then, I know in Canada, you're probably not starting till early September, mid-September, because most clubs don't have ice. You're probably, on the ice training camps mid-August is kind of when you get going. Then you're, 2 events September, 2 events October, 2 events November, 2 events December, kind of 8 before Christmas always seems to be like the sweet spot. That's kind of what we're always aiming for, between September, December's 8 events before Christmas. And then come the new year, you're just focused on, the Brier and the Worlds is kind of how I'd like to look at it. Those have always been comfortable seasons for me anyways.
Cool. What's it sound like now? You're talking about, Mark Nickel was your babysitter. You were so young when when this guy had to look after you. What's it sound like now than when you were a young guy, when to hear you say, we got to concentrate on the Brier and we got to concentrate on the Worlds. When you go back to the dream, I always like to ask guys, high performance guys, when what does that sound like now than when you were 12, 13 and getting serious about curling, going, okay, we got to concentrate on winning our open club weekend.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's crazy how expectations evolve over time. I mean, growing up, it was, would love to just throw a rock in a Brier, play in a Brier, would love to just play in an Olympic trials, be close to an Olympic trials, Olympic pre-trials even, was like, oh man, that would be sweet. And it's funny how expectations evolve, where it's like you gotten to experience that and feel forever fortunate to have gotten those experiences. And now, the expectation is, we're here to win it. And it's awesome how it's evolved into that. I mean, you can never guarantee, that you're going to get to that point, but, a lot of hard work has gone into this type of stuff to have your expectations to where they are now and where they are for me and my team. I mean, that stuff doesn't happen accidentally. A lot of hard work goes into that to make that happen.
Are you of the opinion, Matt, that to stay where you are, you got all the skill in the world, anyone can throw a shot anytime? Are you of the opinion that we need to play more or practice more? Or stay the same? Is there anything you're going to change going forward, going, okay, we need a nutritionist, or I don't know, or what? Going ahead.
I mean, I think early on, especially, new player coming aboard, right? I think technically we're going to, dive into some things a little bit more than we have in past seasons. Just trying to get a feel for how Mark wants to throw the rock and compared to how we throw the rock, and, where, if there are some differences, like where can we meet in the middle to make things comfortable for everybody. So, I mean, that's going to be a very large chunk of, the beginning of this team. I don't think you're going to see us play any less or any more than we normally would. I mean, with a new team, you got to play to understand where maybe some weaknesses are and where some things that, you want to improve on, to experience that in real time and, formulate practice plans around that. But first things first, it's going to be, trying to get Mark as comfortable as possible within a new group, and, figuring out his throw, him figuring out our throws, how we're going to communicate, how we can bring out the best in each other. Cause I mean, it's one new person, but it is a new group in the grand scheme of things. And, that'll be our main focus for the first handful of months anyways. But, we're not going to change. There won't be any major changes with, our playing schedule and our training schedule. Our training schedule is actually going to get much better with me making the move to Winnipeg now.
One area before we let you go, I want to talk about, because we're starting a new quad, of course. You got the team set up. You are really well sponsored, have been for a long time. So how does that work? The reason I asked this is not for no reason. Had some great discussions today at the Saville, because we have the showdown going on. So a lot of top young players are coming in, and they like to find out about sponsorship and the deals that are made. And our back in the day, our team, we always like to sign 4-year deals from one quad to the next. That was kind of what we want to do, and I think the sponsor liked that too, so that they knew they were part of it. The price was set and good to go for a 4-year term. How do you do it? And I know there's some young people. I told them you're coming on the show tonight, and I told them I would ask you this.
Putting pressure on.
Yes, actually. You've earned that, right?
Yeah. Honestly, the last, I think 4-year deals are definitely where we'd all like to be. Because I think for the brand itself to actually see value in what they're doing, for them to come in a year and disappear, like they're not going to see much value in that. Like it's really tough to create an actual partnership over that. So, 4-year deals and beyond make a lot of sense for that reason alone. The economic landscape we're up against, as I'm finding out, on our end, has made that awfully difficult to make that sort of commitment, just because there's a lot of volatility economically in the country right now. So it's the 4-year terms, I would say, have come a lot, or been a little more few and far between than maybe the cycle before, or the beginning of last cycle, I should say. But for some it makes sense, for some it doesn't, but you feel that out right away. Everything, we have a sponsorship deck, that we present, obviously, but everything in there is to create a conversation. That deck, when we present it, there's no end all be all. Everything is open-ended. It's each page has a reason to discuss something with that partner, or that potential partner. And that to us is how, both sides end out winning. That's actually how you continue conversations. Because certain companies will look at something and just go, if it's that black and white, that's not a good fit for us. Let's carry on, try and find something else. I think trying to understand too, from a sponsor, like, are they trying to be more community oriented? Do they like more in-person engagements, speaking engagements, trade shows? Are they going to find more value in that? Or are they going to find more value in the television time? And does the spot on the uniform make a lot more sense for them versus, the in-person? And, all of our partners have, different opinions on that. And, I think it's very important to leave things very open-ended to try and, create the best of both worlds between the team and the partner. And obviously what their marketing goals are and what they're going to do to support us chasing our Olympic dream.
It's very easy, Matt. It's very easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Give us more money than we expect, and for a longer time than we wanted it. Okay.
It's just that easy,
guys. It's just that easy.
Yeah.
I can't. Before you go, and we're gonna let you go. So, Brad Gushue, I want to know how you end up snagging Mark Nickel. Brad Gushue announces he's going to retire several months ago. How many guys are going, get on the frickin' blower with Nickel and find out what's going on? How do you guys land him? How many phone calls was this guy getting? How did you possibly do that? I'm guessing this guy's got choices if he wants to keep curling. When did you? How did you do it? How did you snag him?
Maybe I think we've been setting the tone the last couple of years. Every year or so, we've been stealing one person from Gushue's team. Whether it was Coach Flaxey 2 years back, and then we took EJ the year after. We just took Jeff to Worlds with us. And now we got Mark, so Brad's the only one left there. So we'll have to find out in a couple of years how we can get him involved here too. But obviously being the reigning Canadian champs, that certainly doesn't hurt. I think that was obvious.
And the good sponsorship you've got.
Yeah, for sure. I think there was a lot of things that were attractive for Mark. And there was a lot of things on our end that saw him very attractive for very obvious reasons. We talked about his track record and what he's done over the last, his entire career. So
still though, to snag him is unbelievable. Good job.
Awesome. Good job. We're over the moon. We're super excited about it, and hoping for a lot of good things to continue for our team.
Matt Dunstone has been our guest, your reigning world silver medalist. Man, well done. What a year for you, winning your Brier and going to the finals in the world, Matt. I know those are goals of yours, and really appreciate you taking the time, man. Now, listen, tuck the right elbow in, okay, when you're coming down. Little shallower impact, okay, at the ball, okay, and you'll break 80.
Well,
I'm telling you. Okay? I saw a video of you playing. Okay, you're coming over the top a little bit.
No. Blowing smoke. I got to stop lag putting from 8 feet. That's all there is to it.
Okay, get in there. All right. Yeah. Way to go, Matt. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
for
so
having me
much
on.
for doing this, and have an awesome summer. We'll talk to you. Of course, we'll talk to you during the summer anyways, but have a good one.
Absolutely. You betcha.